Welcome back, everybody. 19 minutes before 7 here on Morning Live. It's great to have you on this Friday edition. Right, the Independent Electoral Commission. Now, it's preparing for the 2016 municipal elections. It's all you're going to hear this year, I can promise you that much. And it's scheduled to take place later this year. We're not too sure exactly when. We're still waiting for the announcement of the date. South Africans have been encouraged to register and check their details on the voters' roll this weekend as part of the voter registration. The Department of Home Affairs will also be using this opportunity to make sure that their identification documents are valid and they're up to date. Mosotho Moepya, the IEC Chief Electoral Officer, is in studio with us this morning to address the state of readiness for this coming voter registration weekend. So good to see you. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
I told you when I first saw you that this is going to be your chair for this year. We're going to see you so often.
I know.
Is it all systems go for the registration weekend?
Oh yes, for tomorrow and Sunday. Everything that we needed to do has been done. We have close to 52,000 people that we have recruited and trained as staff members to work over, across 22,570 voting stations in the country. And everything that, we needed to have, supplies, zip machines are in place. And we are looking forward to hosting people that have either moved residence since they were last registered, people that are registering for the first time, and those people who want to check their details and ensure that we do have their complete details on the voters' roll, including addresses on this occasion.
Yeah. So that's important. If people have moved, people have relocated, and if they are now of age to vote, these are the people we're appealing to go out there and re-register, or in fact just register, because you're saying that there, according to Stats SA, there are around about 9 million voters out there that haven't registered, and they are perfectly eligible to vote.
Correct. Stats SA has updated their estimates, and they estimate that there are about 34 million South Africans who are eligible to register and to vote. Out of those, we have 25 million. So we do have a 9 million registration gap, it would seem. And we would be waiting for any one of those people. If you give me at least 1 million this, on Saturday and Sunday, I'd be very, very happy.
Yeah. Not that I'm asking people to put their registration off, but will you be having another weekend?
No, we have this weekend, and we always assess what happens once this registration weekend has gone. And also it is a factor that depends on when an election will be called. If an election is called after this weekend, people may not have an opportunity, but if there is an opportunity, clearly we will consider that.
All right. I want to talk about some problems, though, because this is not coming without problems.
Okay.
The voters' roll under pressure. We're seeing you going to the Constitutional Court. There are political parties that are not happy about this, and there are South Africans that are doubting the IEC's readiness to have elections. We've never doubted it before, but it seems that this is one of the first years we're very worried about the elections in the IEC.
Leanne, I cherish the idea of people being concerned and us doing the work that we're meant to do. We at the Electoral Commission do not take our responsibilities very lightly. And as democracy matures, these challenges will be upon us. What would be required of us to do is to discharge our responsibilities with great distinction. The issues that we are dealing with, you will remember in 1999, in fact in 1998, when we had our first registration weekend, South Africa had just introduced the green barcoded identity document. And there was a big issue about many South Africans not having the document or still applying for the document and so on and so forth. And at that point, the pressure was, get your identity document, go and register in the area where you're ordinarily resident.
Yeah.
There was no outcry about address. There was, it wasn't. In that weekend, let's remind all of us, we had 18.1 million people registered. They still form a significant number of people on the voters' roll today. If those persons have not been affected by any registration, moving of house or demarcation, those people still remain on the voters' roll with the details we obtained in 1998. And now, it shouldn't surprise us that there are many people on the voters' roll who do not have addresses. the issue of having addresses first became an issue and was put into law in 2003.
Yeah. But what happened in Tlokwe, which is very worrying because, I mean, not having people's addresses on the voters' roll, which in effect it calls an election not free and not fair. Now, there's worries and concerns that this is spread throughout the country because it is very difficult to pin down addresses when people they don't necessarily have an exact street address. I mean, it's, you know, that's just unfortunately the way things are. How are you getting around this?
You know, the issue of addresses, as we deal with at the moment, has a lot of interpretations, and that's why we seek clarity on these issues. You would know that South Africa has many places, villages that are not necessarily informal settlements, that don't have street addresses. We have informal settlements where we do not have addresses. But that's not for us the biggest issue. The issue is the understanding that we all need to have and then apply. Where persons would say, if that someone has no address, should they be struck off the voters' roll or should they be on there? We understand that to mean in instances where there is no address for a voter, we need to be so sure that that person is ordinarily resident in that voting district and would be registered there. And whether that application and that understanding is correct, these are the issues that we will clarify and South Africa would know. For now, we know that having an address, or coming to the voting station to apply for registration, one does not need to have an address as a prerequisite. We just need to have sufficient particularities and locate you within that voting district.
All right, let's leave it there for this morning. Mosotho Moepya, the Chief Electoral Officer for the IEC, talking to us about some issues about addresses and voter registration. But the important topic really is the fact that it is the voter registration weekend this weekend. Go out there, register. There are 9 million of you out there that have not registered, and you are able to vote. So go out and do that. Thanks again. Good luck for the weekend.
It's been a pleasure.
Let's take a break. More after this. Stay tuned.